Good morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Monday Morning Live with Mike and Julia. I'm just going to invite Mike to jump on. Here we go. Here is Mike. I'm inviting him. Good morning, Mike. I hope you're seeing this, and I can't wait until you jump on with me. Let's see here. And I'm getting everybody started, sending out some invitations and making sure everybody knows that we're getting started this morning. We are going to be talking about a very exciting topic today. I know that every single week we talk about really cool stuff, but this week we've got a really exciting topic. You guys are going to love this. Let's see here. Good morning. There's Mike. I'm bringing him on camera. I'm adding Mike on. Hey, Mike, are you getting there? Are you almost here? There he's connecting. Mike, good morning.
Hey,
How are you?
good. I'm doing awesome, Julie. Good morning. How are you?
I could not be better. Hey, Dee's with us this morning. Good morning, Dee. It's so good to see you. Hey, Kirk from South Carolina and Mike Wenner. Oh my goodness, this is going to be an amazing live this morning, Mike. I'm so excited to see everybody here today. You know what's exciting, Mike? I don't know if you've noticed behind me, but I've got a green screen. How cool is that, right?
I tell you what, you're getting big here. I feel like you're on the local and national networks now. Kelly and Regis, watch out.
There you go. The new Kelly and Regis, Mike, Julia, and Mike coming to you from Howard County, Maryland, right?
Exactly.
So we have got a really exciting topic today, don't we, Mike? I mean, this is one that you and I talk about a lot, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone, and then I will, and we'll roll right in.
Hey, everybody. It's great to see everyone. My name is Mike Weiner. I am the CEO and founder of Network Referral Group. We are a full-service networking organization, been doing this since 2001. Also the author of the NRG Advantage, and Julia's cohort here on this program, which I think we've been doing. I think we're at about 3 or 4 months now, at least.
I think you're right, Mike. Time flies when you're having fun, though, right? So I haven't really been keeping too much track. Now, I just want to let everybody know my name is Julia Flinworry. I'm a marketing consultant for nearly 16 years at this point. Prior to that, I was a top sales producer, and so that's where our expertise comes. That's where Mike and I have our expertise coming from, is from the place of marketing and sales and helping people to grow their businesses. And it's very exciting to me to be here today and talk about this topic. So this specific topic today is vertical markets. We get together every Monday morning at 9 a.m. and we talk about a different topic, sales topic or marketing topic. But this one is really, really significant. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
Absolutely. This is one that's going to impact you now moving forward in your career. You've got to have this down pat.
I could not agree more. So here it is. It is vertical markets. Now, I'm actually going to read you all a couple of definitions because I think it's truly exciting to talk about a topic, but it's great when we have a baseline conversation glossary, when we know exactly what we're talking about, exactly what we want to say. So the definition that I just checked out for vertical market is a market in which vendors offer goods and services specific to an industry, trade or profession, or other group of customers with specialized needs. Okay, so specialized needs. That is really important because in my previous life, I only focused on helping dentists to grow their practices, right? So I was only working with dental practices, and that would be a general dentist or that would be a dental specialist. Either way, I was always specifically only helping dentists. How about you, Mike? What is the relationship that you have with vertical markets?
You know what? Vertical markets have always been really important to me. When I broke into sales back in the 80s doing copiers and fax machines, I would hit certain vertical markets like medical, charter schools, or whatever. And what I did back then, before social media really had a presence, is I would sell an attorney and then he would refer me to another attorney. He would actually call him up and say, hey, I'm sending Mike Weiner over now. I just bought a fax machine, a copier from him. That's how we did referral marketing back then, way before the Go and a survey, way before social media. It was the old phone call of, hey, Joe, I dealt with Mike. I need to deal with, I'd like to refer him to you. So that's kind of how it was back then.
That is so cool. I completely understand what you're saying. So, my background in sales actually started back in the printing industry way back when. And I actually, originally, I was a print buyer. I bought printing for direct mail marketing campaigns. And then I switched over and I sat in the other seat and I became a salesperson. And I sold all kinds of printing, I sold all kinds of commercial printing. Back in those days, my vertical markets, I had two. The first one was I focused very heavily on selling to graphic designers. Now, back in those days, we didn't have programs like we do today. But back in those days, I was focusing very heavily on selling to graphic designers. But as time went on, I realized that I also had a vertical market with associations. And then I got really specialized and I focused on association management companies. So I would break down my week into who I was going to call on by day, based on vertical markets. How do you keep track of those, Mike? Do you actually break things down in your week, or do you just know who your vertical market is and focus on those?
You know, I've been doing NRG now about 18 years. So the vertical markets for me, I have medical because we have a networking group in Rockville. It's all about medical. We have business, and then we have like the personal, like the real estate and title and so forth. So with me, it's become so ingrained. I think for the viewers though, if they don't have the vertical markets down, what they should do is from 1 to 10, list what vertical markets they want to zone in on. What do they want to focus on, and make a list. And the list can be what they desire to go after, what they're seeking to go after, but also what have they sold in the past. You know, if we're using that show Family Feud, top 3 answers or top 10 answers are. So by knowing what vertical markets you've done in the past can also dictate who you go after in the future, but also know who you're, you know, which industries are profitable for you, which industries make sense to go after. There may be industries that just don't make any sense for you. So I think beside having it up in the head, you need to have it on paper. And I would recommend to people to have at least 5 or 10. In the pinball part of NRG, the I is industries. So I talk about this, you know, at least 9 times a week through the different meetings that I run.
I could not agree more. I firmly believe that you should commit this to paper and always have it in front of you who your target industry is. Now, the way that I like to look at that is I like to think about the specifics of what my product or service is and what I would consider low-hanging fruit, the people that are definitely going to see immediate results. So if I'm focusing on results driven sales and results driven marketing, I am going to be constantly thinking about who is going to get the absolute best results from my product or service. So that's a really, really powerful thought process. Who's going to get the best impact? Who actually can afford my product or service, meaning who has the money to afford it? And who really wants to sit down and talk to me and get to the next level? Because when you have all of those things together, you know exactly how you're going to be able to reach those people, make a really compelling message to those people, and it's going to be easier for them to buy from you because they know they have a need, they know they have the money, they understand what the product is and how it's going to affect them, and they can see the results that they're going to get just like that. They're going to know exactly how the results are going to work for them. Wouldn't you say, Mike? I mean, especially with something like a fax machine. If we stick directly with a fax machine, I think that's true. But as far as the goes are, and my experience with working with people on increasing their marketing and using marketing tools, I would also say that's one of the reasons why I always thought the Go was so good, because it actually helped so many different business owners. I was one of them. So when you're talking about a particular industry, can you walk us through one specific industry and the who, what, why, where, when, and how, why you selected that as a specific industry so that someone could really see how that would work for them?
You know what? I'm gonna zone in on my old industry, the copier industry, because I did it for so long. And some of you out there that are, you know, in a similar industry, some of the industries that you want to target would be medical, would be IT. These are industries that are recession proof, that always need the copiers. They need up to date information. So you know, one of the words I did want to talk about is referability, because if you don't know who your vertical markets are and you can't communicate that to other people, you basically, your referability is I won't say in the toilet, but it's lower than where it should be. So you want to increase your credibility, whether you're at an NRG meeting, talking to Julia, talking to Mike, or just talking to fellow associates. So yeah, you want to know what industries you're going after. If you're a mortgage person, it may be realtors so that you can go in and do seminars together at charter schools. So there's two variations right there of industries that you want to partner with, vertical markets you want to partner with, and vertical markets that you want to go in and do seminars. Because the answer of I can do business with anybody, it's shallow and it doesn't get what I call the mental Rolodex activated. And I see
I
that
agree.
mistake done all the time, you know?
That's so true. Your mental Rolodex. We talk about that all the time, don't we, Mike? Talk
We do.
about, when you say that the vertical market of anybody, and I can sell to anyone. When somebody hears that, there's no mental place that their brain goes to. But if you say a specific target, it's amazing how much faster you see people's minds just clicking and thinking, who do I know in that market? Who do I know that I can refer Mike to? So I also, when I think about vertical industries and vertical markets, I think about specifics like just focusing on restaurants as a big target. Like maybe if you think in terms of, okay, I sell this product or service and I'm going to focus on restaurants, but maybe you could even take that to a smaller category, like I sell to locally owned restaurants, or I sell to locally owned restaurants that are Italian food, or something. Like, do you follow what I mean? Like, how do you tighten that up, and why do you tighten that up, Mike? What would be the advantage for people to do
You
that?
know what? You can tighten it up by revenue. You can tighten it up by employees. You can tighten it up by local versus nationwide. You can tighten it up by one location versus multiple. I know we have viewers like Jane Tuvin where she wants multiple locations when she's marketing Comcast. But by tightening it up, it gives you a more defined notion of who you're going after, so people can respond and go, "Oh, you're looking for revenues of 3 million, employees 5 to 25. I've got a perfect restaurant for you, a perfect, construction company or whatever it may be." So you want to tighten it up, but you also don't want to be too rigid because, if someone's like, well, they can't work with employees over 25, let people know that's your sweet spot, and that
Got
you
it.
can help younger, you can help, smaller or larger companies as well. But those are, I would say, some of the parameters: revenue, employees, locally owned, nationwide, multiple locations, etc., that can really help define who you're going after. So your fellow, NRG members or your fellow business people can help you out and get you into those accounts.
I have a funny story about this whole vertical market thing, and I'm sure you do too. But
Couple.
so I just told you all that when I got started and I was selling printing, that I was really having a hard time. I couldn't figure out exactly who to go after. So first I started going after people who were like what I was doing, buying printing, and they were in the direct mail market. And then I went a little bit further and I started working with graphic designers, and that was interesting. It was a little bit of a challenge, but I did that. So then I went toward associations, right? Well, what I didn't say, and what I have to tell you is so funny to me at this point in my life, is that then I got really very specific and I started focusing on air duct cleaner associations. I was
Wow.
strictly selling printing to, that's so funny. I was strictly selling printing to only air duct cleaner associations. How is that for a target market?
Funny. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Have you ever done anything like that, Mike? Were you like specifically selling only to fax machines only to divorce lawyers or divorce
Yeah,
lawyers or
yeah.
something like that?
I mean, I don't know if it was quite as defined as yours, but like medical associations were one of my hot ones. I would work with one and then get to another. And, the key with the vertical market is you become an expert as well. And,
Ah, yes.
you learn the verbiage, you learn the lingo. So when you're sitting with a air duct, company, you know the words inside out. And, you
Right.
actually could go in there and sound really intelligent,
Right, about
That's
air
kind of
duct
cool.
cleaning. It's true. I was really
Yeah.
knowledgeable at the time. I
Yeah.
wasn't really knowledgeable about air duct cleaning, but I was getting knowledgeable about associations, and I just kept going further and further down that road. And I remember, this is so
Funny.
funny. I remember that chimney sweeps were the biggest competition, so I wasn't able to sell to chimney sweep associations.
I got you. Wow. Boy,
I
did
know.
they lose
I
out.
love that.
They lost
I
out.
love those good memories of the early days of selling. So, at this time, Mike and I like to talk about a recommendation. We like to give you all something to learn about. But before we do that, can I just stop one quick second and say thank you so much to Judith, Amber, Orlando, Chuck, Renee, Frank Deming, David Silverman, Dee Bowden, Mike Wenner, Kirk Watari, for jumping on and joining us this morning. I didn't do my intermittent thank you, so I wanted to make sure I thanked everybody right now for jumping on and staying on with us. But Mike, you told me that you have a really excellent book recommendation this morning, so please share with us.
I do. This is a oldie but goodie. It's called If They Say No, Just Say Next, John Furman. And I tell you what, it's a book that anyone going into sales or running a business, they really need to read this book because, you know, rejection is that one thing that knocks so many people out of the box with sales. And what you have to realize is you're going to go through the nose to get to the yes. I think I mentioned to you last week, my website sponsor, Renee Wiley, who we're going to have her on in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a live
She's on
event.
right now.
Is she
Yeah,
on?
she's
Hey,
on with us
Renee.
this morning. Hi,
Well,
Renee.
2 weeks from today at an undisclosed restaurant, we're going to have the three of us. But Renee gave me 2 referrals the other week, and I called both of them last week. I think it was on Thursday, and one of them just wasn't open. They weren't open to coming to a meeting. They've got all the business they need, and that's fine. And then the next one, oh my God, they were as friendly as could be, and they're going to come to a meeting. They've got, you know, they need to have an employee back in town, and then they're going to come to me. But the point is, you know, Raphael with Law of Attraction always says, all we're doing is offering. So one
Right.
person says no, the other says yes. You know what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. If they say yes, great. If they say no, great. And that book, it's all about next. Even if you get a yes, keep going. Even if you get a no, next. And next is really the best 4-letter word, appropriate 4-letter word that people should be using. And, you know, in my book, The Energy Advantage, I talk about equilibrium selling. Stay consistent, stay even keel. Don't let someone else's answer affect your mindset for the day. Just keep rocking and rolling, have fun, turn it into a game. Because let's say you go through 24 no's and then you get a yes. How sweet is that yes? And that's what I think
Right.
people really need to focus on is don't worry about all the other stuff. You don't know what people are going to say. And you know what? If they're negative, just get down on your knees and thank God you're not them. And just keep rocking and rolling
There you
and
go.
make it fun, you know? So that's my book
So
recommendation for today.
that's an excellent book recommendation. In fact, when I do selling training, sales training, and marketing training, I talk about next, and I actually use it in a different way. I always talk about the series of next steps, and you always have to be thinking of what's next and what your next step is. But I totally agree. Next is a good word in sales. It really keeps us in momentum, which we talk about quite often. I want to thank Orlando, Bobby, Renee, and Joe also for being with us this morning. If I haven't thanked you before for joining us. So at this time, I'd like to tell you all about a software. And I either do a software or I do an app. And today I'm going to talk about a software that I use, or maybe it is an app. I'm trying to think of how I would describe this best. But you've all probably got something like this, right, Mike? A program that works for you. And Mike and I were trying to decide what we thought would be helpful for you all this morning, and we chose Hootsuite. Is that right, Mike?
Absolutely. Yep.
Have you ever used Hootsuite, Mike? Have you ever used that product?
I've used it some, but I know not as much as you. You definitely are. You're definitely the expert with Hootsuite.
Yeah, I use it quite a bit, don't I? So
You do.
Hootsuite is a product that actually will um, allow you to program your social media in advance, so that what you've got is a way to do a whole bunch of posts and texts and messages and pictures and things like that, and you can post those things in the future. And the reason that I think that that's so important is because, I'm really kind of all about the time management. I know some people say you can't manage time, that you can manage your priorities during those hours. And however you want to say that, I really feel that Hootsuite will allow you to do that. What you can do is you can actually, for the free version, go in and create posts for your specific social media campaigns. But if if you're working with a couple of different businesses, or if you have a couple of different clients, you can use Hootsuite or products like that, like Buffer. There's a couple of other products like that too. I'm sure everybody has an idea. Actually, right now, if you guys want to put in who you are and what your contact information is, what your business is, and if you have a book, or if you have a software or an app that you would recommend to everybody here on the call, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to know what you think is working for you the very best, so that we can all dive in and build off of each other's expertise and knowledge. So please feel free to add that in the comments section below me and Mike right now, so that we can share that. And I thank you all for doing that as well. So it's 9:20, and Mike and I would like to talk about some upcoming things, right, Mike? Some things that we have on the
Absolutely.
horizon that we want to share. Mike, what do you have going on that you would like everybody to know about? If you wouldn't mind, I would really appreciate you letting everybody know where your meetings are and where they are across town, as well as any upcoming boot camps or any networking opportunities, and then I'm going to do the same as well. Mike, what do you got
Awesome.
for me?
Yeah, so you know what? I know it's summertime. We just launched a group in Lanham in Prince George's County about 3 weeks ago, and we actually had 3 new members join last week. So, the excuse of everybody's at the beach doesn't hold water with me, literally. So we also started Westminster. Got the joke, huh? We also started Westminster in Carroll County last week. Had a great meeting there. We are going to be expanding into Hartford County with a group in Bel Air. We have groups in Baltimore County. Owings Mills has exploded. Towson's been my hottest group this summer with about 8 new members in 8 weeks. We're going to be doing a group in Randallstown at Renee's office. I mentioned Renee before. We've got lots of groups in Howard County, Montgomery County, and we are going to be starting a Rockville Twilight group September 13th. We've already got 6 members. So for those of you who can't make it during the day, we now have options in Rockville and Columbia. We've also got the big event at Nottingham's coming up Thursday, September 20th, 6 to 9:30 at Nottingham's. It's 8850 Stanford Boulevard. And I shared the NRG event calendar, which Julia has created for us. I just shared that on Facebook yesterday. We still need sponsors. We're still looking for exhibitors. So please reach out to me, and be happy to talk with you about the availability for those. Julie and I work on that together. We'll probably have about 125 to 150 people. So Thursday, September 20th, 6 to 9:30. I'm sure we got more stuff going on. I know you and I are working on a big project for the end of the year as well. So I don't know if you want to kind of tease everyone a little bit with that.
We are.
Yep.
Well, I'll give you guys a little tease. So Mike and I are located on the East Coast of the United States. We're located right by the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area. And at the end of this year, we are working on, I'm going to put it in that terms, working on a live event that will be a national event for people to come in and participate in. We're very excited and finding out who is going to be able to attend, who's going to come from across the country, the farthest away, and visit us for that. I know we do have some international watchers as well, so maybe we have some of our international friends will join us, and we're going to be talking about some amazing information and getting you to the next level with your sales. We have some exciting things coming on. Hopefully by then my book will have already come out, because I'm working on that really diligently, my 15-minute business builders. I also want to share with you all that in the next couple of weeks, I am rolling out a very exciting, very exclusive class. And I see that Ross Bryant has joined us on the live this morning, and I want to thank Ross for joining. Ross and I are talking a little bit about this, as well as me and a couple of other people. If you are interested in getting really strong results in your marketing and your sales, and you want to tap into my marketing and sales expertise of about 16 years of sales and marketing. Well, it's really more than that, isn't it, Mike? I've been a marketing consultant for 16 years, but yeah, the sales part of me selling marketing on top of that, I guess it's more like, ooh, I don't want to say the number, but it's definitely more than 16 years. But if you all are interested in dialing into my expertise and using that for your own business, I'm going to be talking about that. Just let me know that you'd like to participate. It is going to be extremely exciting, because what I'm sharing in these weekly classes will actually be ways to use my expertise for your own business so that you can get better results from your marketing. And I know that you all have a lot of questions. Everybody asks me a lot of different questions these days about making a better business card, a better website, a stronger message, a stronger brand. Ever since you and I have been doing this, it's really been a growing bunch of questions. So that is rolling out. I'm very excited. Mike, do you have anything specific that you'd like everybody to know as far as the results of doing a sponsorship or an exhibitorship at the extravaganzas? Because they do really get results, and I'd love to hear from you what you think the number one result is of participating as a sponsor or an exhibitor.
I think the biggest thing is branding of yourself as a sponsor or as an exhibitor. And I've heard from a lot, I always get feedback that they've met people from other NRG groups or people that they had never met before. So it's the branding, it's exposure, it's getting the people that you never would have, been able to sit down with. And then it's having the longer conversations. It's meeting over lunch or a cup of coffee, getting to know each other. And that's the really cool thing for me is someone from Towson can meet someone from Lanham and develop a relationship like that. So it's the long-term benefit. I think sometimes we're in this microwave society. Everybody wants everything yesterday. Yeah, you may pick up some deals very quickly, but what do you really want? Do you want the long-term relationships that will continually feed you endless referrals? And that's really part of what NRG is all about. Now, we'll be in our 19th year starting in January. We're not that far away from it now. But what do you want long-term? And, by promoting yourself and being up in front of everyone, Joy and I will promote you through all the social media out there, but it just gets you exposure, gets you branding, and it increases credibility in a very competitive world. And I think that's another real big thing too, is that increased credibility. That's something we don't hear about a lot, but it's very true.
So branding, exposure, credibility, I think all three of those are top notch, Mike. I think participating right there would be a good reason. I also think that you get to really showcase your product or service to your potential vertical market a lot faster when you're an exhibitor or a sponsor at the extravaganzas. I feel like for me, that gives me the opportunity to talk to my ideal potential customer or to reestablish relationship with people that I'm already selling to or that are already my clients. It builds a deeper relationship. I would also say that one of the things I really love doing is inviting my prospects and inviting my client base to attend the events, because when they come out, they see me in a different light. I mean, you did talk about credibility, and I do think that that's part of it. I also think it extends the relationship. So I think the advantage of coming to our extravaganzas are that. So those are held in Columbia, Maryland, which is on the East Coast again. So you are welcome to come out for that. If you're located outside of the area, this would be an amazing opportunity for you to sell into Maryland, right? So if you want to get into our market, this would be an extremely powerful way to do that. And so we're getting to the last couple of minutes, Mike. I'd love to hear from you what you want to challenge everybody to do this week with the vertical market mindset, keeping that in mind. I'd love to hear from you what you'd like everybody to do this week.
I had a former vice president years ago, and she always talked about leaving money on the table. And I think think about this with the vertical market. If you don't know who your vertical market is, how can you convey that to other people so that they can refer people to you? Again, it's back to that referability aspect that I talk about. So my challenge is for everyone to come up with 5 to 10 vertical markets and list them in order of what the most popular one is all the way down. And if you want to share that with Julie and I, that would be great. But by having that, I think that would be really good. If you have questions, I am going to share my phone number real quick with everybody. Feel free to reach out to me. It's 443-756-9656. Again, 443-756-9656. But have those 10 itemized so that you know who you're going after. And you're going to save yourself a lot of time than just going after any industry. If CPAs are number one, then what do you do in the target? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Facebook? Does everyone in your close circle know that you're targeting CPAs? Because if they don't, those referrals are going elsewhere. And you've left money on the table and it's lost opportunity. So it's all a positive, because the better you identify the vertical, the better you're going to do and the better the people can help you, and vice versa. So that's kind of my closing sentiment for today.
Excellent. My name is Julia Flynn Worry. You can reach me by texting Let's Go, LETSGO, Let's Go to 26786. That's text Let's Go to 26786. I'm giving away 7 tips to develop repeat buyers in your customer base. To build your business with repeat customers. That's 7 tips that I'm giving away. Just text Let's Go to 26786 so you can do that. Also, reach out to me about participating in the classes that I'm talking about. I'll be doing a very specific breakfast to discuss all of the parameters of that, and I can't wait to share that with you all. I thank you for joining us this morning. We just got another jump on. We got Carmen jumping on from she's a flight attendant. She could be anywhere in the world right now, actually, Mike. She could literally be anywhere in the world. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for joining Mike and me today. It's a great way to start Monday morning at 9 a.m. Monday morning, kick off the week right, get us off and going in the right direction. Thank you, Orlando, for all the love. Orlando's given us all kind of love right now, Mike. I want to thank you guys so much. I can't wait to talk to you more. We're going to be talking about niche markets, sales, strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. That's our SWOT coming up. We're going to be talking about our sponsor for our upcoming event. Names list, back to basics. This rest of this year is really going to be drilling down and making sure that everybody here is making some serious money. That is what we're all talking about these weeks. And if you have any questions for Mike and me, please reach out to us. We love to hear from you. We love it when everybody reminds us that they saw us on Monday morning, and we appreciate that, even if you watch it in replay. And we want to thank you so much. Have a fantastic week. Right, Mike?
Have a great day, guys. Have a great week. First week of August. Go make it happen. Thank you.